and good morning, everyone. It's a real pleasure to have the opportunity to speak to you today. I'd like to share a little bit with you about the journey that we've been on at Nokia to bring great innovation to the marketplace. It was only about 18 months ago that we outlined a new strategy to deliver people great mobile devices. And we embarked upon one of the most significant transitions I think this industry has seen. At that time, we recognized that the industry had shifted from a battle of devices to a war of ecosystems. And in order to deliver consumers a competitive experience, Nokia needed to be part of an ecosystem, which meant giving people beautiful phones, while also ensuring that we were delivering a wide range of services and applications that consumers expect today. And we chose Windows Phone over competitive platforms, and we signed a deal with Microsoft to become their lead partner in building a third ecosystem. We shared a vision with Microsoft that we could create a new kind of smartphone experience, and we believed we could offer people an alternative to what else was out there. We believe that Microsoft, with its cross-platform offerings and strengths in application development, in software development, in search, in gaming, in entertainment, in business productivity, they were the right partner for us. But we also knew it was going to be a journey. We knew that much still needed to be done to make the Windows Phone platform a competitive platform. We knew that, that we needed to be as competitive as possible with the others. We knew that people who owned a Windows Phone absolutely loved the experience. But we needed to get other consumers to try it. We needed to put the phones in their hands, and we needed to do our best work on Windows Phone and to encourage others to do the same. We also knew that we needed to grow the developer and application ecosystem around Windows Phone. But we also knew that the unique integration possibilities of the platform provided an opportunity to differentiate with application experiences as opposed to just application volume. When Nokia joined the Windows Phone ecosystem, we actually had little opportunity to influence the platform because it was going to be introduced just a few months later. So instead, we moved very quickly to do the best work we could on the existing platform and to help Microsoft to bring even more innovation to the ecosystem after that. In only 6 months, we brought 2 Lumia smartphones to the market, including, I claim, the first real Windows phone, the Nokia Lumia 800. The phone started winning awards around the world, and people started to take notice. We also worked with Microsoft to help define the development priorities of the platform, which included introducing Windows Phone to China, as well as to lower price points. The Nokia Lumia 610 has allowed us to expand our presence in markets like China, India, South America, as well as Europe. And today, China is the largest Windows Phone market in the world. And as a result, Windows Phone market share is growing. We also introduced the first flagship Windows Phone smartphone, the Lumia 900, bringing AT&T into the Windows Phone ecosystem in a much bigger way, alongside the Lumia 710 at T-Mobile, also reintroducing Nokia into the US. As Windows Phone started to get noticed, Microsoft introduced Windows 8, the reimagining of Windows, as Steve was talking about, which adopts the tile-based user experience first introduced on Windows Phone. Then in June, Microsoft previewed Windows Phone 8, and announced that its smartphone platform would share the same core technologies as its PC platform, allowing consumers to share a common experience across smartphone, PC, tablet, a great consumer experience. Microsoft also announced a range of new features and capabilities for the Windows Phone platform that were terrifically important for its OEM partners, including us. That included multi-core processor support, support for higher screen resolutions, the ability to use micro SD memory cards, NFC wireless sharing, and a digital wallet. For developers, Microsoft announced native code support, the ability to provide in-app purchases, integrated internet calling, and multitasking enhancements. Meanwhile, the platform, which was already one of the strongest for business thanks to the native Office application integration, got stronger with device encryption, better security, remote management, and the ability to create company hubs and applications. Microsoft importantly also expanded the Windows Phone footprint to 50 languages with app download support for over 180 countries, including many core Nokia markets. To give you an illustration of that progress, today we sell Windows Phone products in 54 markets. So huge opportunity for expansion. And at the same time, Nokia and Microsoft announced we were extending the world-class Nokia mapping platform to Windows Phone. The world's most advanced mapping and mobile location platform became part of the Windows Phone 8 core experience, deeply embedded into the operating system and providing Windows Phone with a core advantage in the next battleground of mobile ecosystems, location and contextual experiences. And finally, Microsoft announced a new range of features for consumers. And I'd like to demo a couple of my favorites. First of all, when we look at the home screen, of course the UI of the home screen has now expanded so that you can personalize your home screen, because anyone who has used a Windows Phone knows that your life is actually in the home screen. So you can see with mine, I have across the top the functions that I use on a regular basis. And then I have a CNN and a Bloomberg app that's serving to me what's going on in the world, because these days I don't have much time to watch TV. I'm going to come back to a couple of these applications in a minute. And I also have an offline mix from Mix Radio, which happens to be the top 100. And yes, that is Justin Bieber. And yes, I do listen to him and others like him, particularly when I'm in the airport or with downtime or in the gym this morning, for example, when Wi-Fi isn't always available to listen to it from streaming. But also, what's important to me is also to be able to keep up with what people are doing. So I bring my groups of friends to my home screen, like my group here that gives me, what's happening with various people. I get to know if they've sent me an email, a notification, so I can stay on top of that, or if they've posted on Facebook. Or, for example, I can bring individuals to my home screen. Now, I would imagine that if Stephen Elop, my boss, saw that his tile was so small on my home screen, he might not be very happy. So when I see him, I expand it to that size, so he knows how important he is to me. But those are just some of the examples of how you can bring your life to your home screen with the use of live tiles. And the great thing is the Windows 8 experience is just the same. So one of the other functions that I use all the time is certainly Internet Explorer. And of course, I spent a lot of time on, well, here we are. I spent a lot of time on the Qualcomm site, for example, which isn't here yet, but one of the features of, that have been introduced for Internet Explorer is I can go to my settings, and instead of having a refresh button, I can have favorites. So now if I go back and look at who are my favorites, then you see some of it, you can go directly to the websites that you use most often, as opposed to having to go and enter the, go into the settings every time. So you can change how you like to use the Internet Explorer. Then the other thing that's important to us, very important to us that Microsoft introduced was digital lenses. And in the camera app, they introduced a couple of basic digital lenses so that you can create multi-shots and be able to keep several shots of what you're taking a picture of, and then choose the one you want. But we've added some digital lenses on top of that. So one that I'd like to show you is called Cinematograph. Now last night, Tamu, who's sitting over here, went out to the Brandenburg Gate, took a great low light picture with no flash of a fountain. Now I can open that in Cinematograph. It'll process for a second. And I'll modify it. So in modifying it, I'm going to create some movement that really recaptures the emotion of actually seeing that fountain at the Brandenburg Gate. So now imagine posting that on Facebook as opposed to just the pictures just a picture that you would normally take. So that's one of several digital lenses that we'll be introducing that really give consumers opportunities to bring more to their photography than before. And of course, Microsoft will be continuing to introduce new features on Windows Phone 8 in the run-up to when devices start shipping. So just last week, we took advantage of these new developments on Windows Phone 8 to launch 2 new Windows Phone 8 smartphones. The Nokia Lumia 920 is the Windows Phone 8 flagship and the most innovative smartphone in the world. Windows Phone 8 and the Nokia Lumia 920 were developed side by side with the goal of building a better smartphone experience. The Lumia 920 is a smartphone that proudly stands apart from the crowd. This design is the perfect extension of the iconic Fabula design that we trailblazed with the Nokia Lumia 800 and the Lumia 900. This sleek and stylish polycarbonate shell wraps around the 4.5-inch curved glass display for just a look and a feel in your hand that refuses to compromise. The Lumia 920 continues the color story introduced by our first Lumia smartphones. This year we add yellow, we add red, and a matte gray color. And right down to the ceramic keys on the side of the device, as well as the ceramic camera badge. This phone just exudes confidence and quality. And I'm happy to let any of you hold one after we're done. The Lumia 920 is the first Windows Phone-based smartphone to carry the PureView promise of the highest possible image quality. You may have heard some criticism of a video that we posted online that simulated the effect of our PureView technology, what that technology would produce when shooting still images and video. We're still in the process of learning about that situation, but to my understanding, it was absolutely no one's intention to mislead But it was a mistake, and it was poor judgment to use video without making it perfectly clear that these were simulations. But that error in judgment should not distract from the fact that the camera on the Nokia Lumia 920 really does produce the best pictures and video of any smartphone. The image you see here was taken at night in Helsinki without using flash, and it's an absolutely genuine still image taken with a Nokia Lumia 920 prototype device. The image is so bright and so colorful because the Nokia Lumia 920 is capable of taking in 5 to 10 times more light than any other smartphone. And here is an image of the exactly same scene taken with a leading competitor smartphone with their default settings. You can see the difference. And this image was taken in Central Park just ahead of our New York press conference. This was also taken with a Lumia 920 prototype, without flash and without a tripod. It's a stark contrast to this image, again taken on default settings with a competitor smartphone in the exact same situation. These amazing images are made possible because inside this smartphone is a floating lens technology that surpasses the optical image stabilization systems of most digital SLRs. The technology reacts to the small, minute movements in your hand when you're taking a picture or a video, and it allows the shutter to stay open longer in order to let in the light. And more light means clearer, brighter images without flash, even indoor or at night. The simulated video incident also brought into question the genuine video capabilities of the PureView camera in the Nokia Lumia 920. So let me answer those questions. Here you see on the right the prototype Lumia 920 in red and a leading competitor smartphone, you might be able to tell which one it is, attached to the same rig contraption for equal stabilization. This photo and the video I'm about to show you were shot right outside Nokia House in Espoo, Finland, only a few weeks ago. So let's take a look. So as you can see from this side-by-side comparison, the floating lens technology inside the Nokia Lumia 920 smooths out the movement and shake in the camera beautifully, producing smooth and professional-looking video. This latest PureView innovation is another example of how Nokia will continue to challenge the limitations placed on smartphone cameras and set new standards for image quality and video quality that a smartphone can produce. In addition to PureView, however, we also demonstrated the latest location and navigation innovation in the new Lumia range. Nokia Maps, Nokia Drive, and Nokia Transport are often cited as the reasons why people choose a Lumia over other alternative smartphones. These are the applications that bring value to people every single day, turning a smartphone into a fully fledged personal navigation device. On Windows Phone 8, we're bringing together Nokia's location-based applications to create an integrated suite of location services. We introduced offline capabilities to Nokia Maps, not just caching data offline, but true offline maps that work whether you're connected or not. And with increased integration between the applications, Nokia Drive can be fired up from within Maps to start navigating to a destination without having to go in and out of different applications. Nokia Drive will also gain the daily commute feature first launched in the US, using live traffic data and a current GPS location to calculate the additional time it will take to reach a destination based on traffic, including automatically finding an alternative route if an accident occurs or if traffic is blocked. And Nokia Transport now provides not only the details on public transport departure times, but also route and walking instructions to get you between stops. And since on Windows Phone 8 we're adding indoor maps, we'll be able to get people to exactly the right spot inside the bus terminal or the train station. But we've also added a new experience to the Nokia Location Suite, an experience that's been built right here in Berlin. Nokia City Lens provides the most intuitive way to explore your surroundings. By pointing your Nokia Lumia smartphone camera at any city block, Nokia City Lens shows you the name of shops, of restaurants, of hotels, of other points of interest directly overlaid onto the surface of the buildings in the phone's display. So you just have to point the camera, find the nearest restaurant, tap for more details, and if you like the look of it, even place the phone call to find out if they have a table just before you walk through the door. This is the start of an augmented reality perspective that we intend to use more widely in other applications in the future. So with so many reasons to use the Lumia 920 outdoors, we also introduced the latest Nokia display technology called PureMotion HD+. PureMotion HD means better than HD resolution and a faster refresh rate. That means that moving content is clear, smooth, and flicker-free, even when you're scrolling through text on a web page or in an email. Also, the latest clear black technology includes sunlight readability enhancements. That means that the display automatically adjusts to the amount of glare from sunlight, so that you can use and use the device anywhere you are, on the beach, in the desert, whenever you're outside. So while the latest touchscreen technology makes the display of the Lumia 920 so sensitive, you still can use it in many different situations. So yes, you can use it when you're wearing gloves. And yes, for those ladies in the audience, you can use it with your fingernails. This is a display that is absolutely so immersive, people are never going to want to put it down. And that actually led us to asking a question: how could we help people get all the power they need to get through the day? And the first thing we did is we put a 2,000 milliamp hour battery in this device, which is the largest that we've ever used in any mobile phone. But then we also selected the Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 processor, because this processor and Windows Phone 8 combine to give the fastest, most responsive experience with 30% more battery efficiency than any quad-core alternative. And finally, we introduced built-in wireless charging, making it easy to keep the battery topped up throughout the day. Here is the Fat Boy Recharge Pillow. And for those of you who are super cool, you know what Fat Boy is. And so you put this pillow by your sofa or your Fat Boy beanbag, and while you recharge, your phone can recharge with you. Accessories like the Fat Boy pillow and the JBL power-up speaker that you see here in blue and black, which is actually capable of both charging your device while also playing music streamed by wirelessly by NFC. These types of accessories make it easy to integrate wireless charging into people's everyday lives. But because we wanted to take wireless charging outside the home, we announced that we signed deals with Virgin Atlantic and Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf in order to do that. Virgin Atlantic will place the Nokia wireless charging plates in their Virgin Atlantic Heathrow Clubhouse. And Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf will install plates on tables in many of their coffee shops so that consumers can recharge their battery while they're enjoying a cup of coffee. These are just the first of many partnerships we expect to sign to bring momentum to the growing wireless charging ecosystem. In addition to the Nokia Lumia 920, we also introduced the Nokia Lumia 820 to bring the latest high-end innovation to a broader audience. The Nokia Lumia 820 has a 4.3-inch clear black display that has the same sunlight readability enhancements and the same super sensitive touch as the Nokia Lumia 920. It has built-in NFC and comes with the Nokia Location Suite, including Nokia City Lens, as well as Nokia Music and all the exclusive apps also found on the Lumia 920. It has exclusive Carl Zeiss optics. It has a wide aperture and the latest Nokia digital lenses like the Cinematograph that I showed you earlier. But the Nokia Lumia 820 has an innovation all on its own. No. Because the polycarbonate back shell of the Lumia 820 easily can be removed and exchanged. And I'm going to exchange it for this one. It also has a 1650 milliamp battery, and inside here is a micro SD slot. So you can expand the memory up to 64 gigabytes. So there are three types of replacement covers. There's a different color to the normal cover. There's a protective cover, so you don't have to put something big and bulky around the device. And there is a wireless charging cover. And voila, you are ready to use the Fat Boy Recharge Pillow with your Lumia 820 as well. The final piece of the Windows Phone ecosystem jigsaw is the unique application experience. Since Nokia joined the Windows Phone ecosystem, the Windows Phone marketplace has grown from 7,000 applications to over 100,000 applications. And as Steve Ballmer said last week when he joined us on stage in New York, there has never been a better time to be a Windows developer. Building apps for Windows means the opportunity to build for up to 1 billion people, while the shared core makes it easy to port applications for Windows Phone. Nokia has been working closely with Microsoft to help developers realize this opportunity. As part of the Nokia programs, we've worked directly with over 250,000 developers at over 1,000 events, seeding over 20,000 phones. And as you can see, we've held events all over the world as we strive to make Windows Phone into the most locally relevant ecosystem. And we also work one-on-one with some of the bigger developers to deliver targeted apps for different audiences. The result is exclusive apps and integrated marketing programs that bring a halo effect to Lumia and unique opportunities for developers and for our customers. Many take advantage of the panorama UI of Windows Phone to give familiar apps a completely new look and feel. Others, like Groupon, integrate into the mapping experience to make it easy for people to find local details. But let's take a look at a couple of those applications. I said I was going to come back to them here. So first of all, we're going to take a look at the world of Red Bull. Now, it may surprise you. It certainly surprised me in terms of the breadth of what Red Bull is doing in the world of sport, all kinds of sports. And in the Red Bull app here, you can look at athletes and teams. You can look at all of the news that's happening. But let's just take a look, for example, at one athlete, like Lexi Thompson. Lexi Thompson is a teenage golfer. You may wonder, Red Bull and golf? Well, I'm sure many of you are golfers. I'm sure many of you follow the Masters. But did you see this?
Out here on the beautiful lake, and we got a skee ball board up there on the side of the hill, about 160 yards away to the middle of it.
So Red Bull's take on
the whole
golf
thing is trying
to bring
score as many points as possible, but it's kind of a small
together.
target. Tee boxes moving around, and kind of interesting.
Lexi, are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
This one looks absolutely perfect, right in the middle of it. For a 300-pointer, nice shot, Lexi.
Thank you. I took my 7 iron. Needless to say, the other guys didn't do so well. So, in addition to that, if you're looking for events that you want to go to, and I think the Wi-Fi here is somehow tied to San Diego, because when I go near me, I end up in San Diego as opposed to Berlin. But Steve, I'm sure that when you get back later this week, the Hurley Pro at Trestles might be something that you want to participate in. So another cool app, and obviously you see the relationship with Finland, is something called Angry Birds Roost. So Angry Birds Roost is an application that uses the Panorama UI to bring everything in the Angry Birds world together. So obviously here you're able to actually launch the games. Oops. But in addition to that, you can play videos from the games themselves, especially the ones that haven't been announced yet. You also can go directly to Rovio's blog, where they talk about various things, as well as contests, for example, for people who are designing their own take on the Angry Birds characters. But and then you can download wallpapers as well as ringtones. But the feature that I really like is the Angry Cam. So the Angry Cam lets you use a picture. So it goes here. So I'm going to find the family pics, for example. We go here. There's someone with a great birthday cake. I'm going to add a character. There she is. Here we go. Let's turn her in to this character. And there, yeah, you can have some fun with that. So this is another example of where we've worked directly with a developer to bring unique value to consumers with exclusive apps on the Lumia devices. So since February of 2011, and my, doesn't that seem like a long time ago, we have taken many, many steps forward in our goal to build a winning third ecosystem. But we still are on a journey. And more people are joining us all the time. We'll continue to work with Microsoft to expand the Windows Phone ecosystem, introducing unique experiences to more countries and more price points. Later this year, we'll start shipping the Nokia Lumia 920 and Lumia 820, both with Pentaband LTE and HSPA Plus variants, so people can enjoy a fast and incredibly immersive smartphone experience wherever they are. We will continue to introduce more smartphones with new innovation that capture the attention of the world. And we will continue to work with developers to help them take advantage of our unique features in Windows Phone and differentiate themselves with the apps that people want to use every day. We'll continue on our path to build a winning third ecosystem. And we hope you'll join us. Thank you.
Well, thank you.